25 for 38. You like the production there. The completion percentage, that's trending in the right direction, 65.8%. The passing yards, also a solid feather in the cap of Caleb Williams. However, 0 passing touchdowns and that 1 interception, not what you want to see. And, well, through 3/4 of the ball game, Coach, just averaging 7 yards per pass attempt. You'd like to see a guy like this be able to stretch the field a little bit, wouldn't you?
Yeah, yes, you would. Absolutely, particularly with the receivers that we have.
Yeah.
But, we were going play action pass, and he threw the check down 2 or 3 times. By the check down, I mean he dumped it off to the back or the underneath tight end or receiver, whoever it was. And, when you put in a play action pass, keep in mind, even though we may not see it clear, there's always going to be somebody deep. Whether it's a crossing route or whatever, deep down the sideline, there's always like a 3 level. I used to call it a level thing. There's going to be a deep level, a middle level, and then your check down level. And so, whether Caleb thought the guy was covered, Caleb felt pressure, whatever the reason was, we didn't take many shots down the field. We really didn't. And when we did, we just didn't have the success. But I think it still comes down in the red zone. If we
you got to punch it in.
If we score twice in the red zone to start this game off, I mean, it could be a whole different ball game. And because now you're losing momentum, and that's a factor. And in red zone offense, let me talk about this for a minute, because I used to study this stuff when I was, extensively, the best red zone offenses in the NFL. And I'm going to date myself a little bit now, but Steve Young, Jerry Rice,
Let's go.
Those guys, Coach.
They were good.
They were tough, okay, back in the day. And the 2 things that happened is they would run downhill. Now, we did see today Kyle Monangai down there in the red zone.
You're a big fan of his, aren't you?
I am. Downhill running. I mean, last week he scored the touchdown. We blocked down, we pulled the center, we kicked out. That's what he'll do. The best red zone offenses, with my experience, and this is me, are downhill. If you run to the sideline, it's real tough down there because there's so many defenders, it's real tough to circle them.
Sure.
If that makes sense. So downhill, the shortest distance between 2 points, straight line, go. And then the second thing is quarterbacks that are on the move. And this is an important point, because if you drop back, there's not much room to throw the ball on the 10-yard line. They've got 7, 8 defenders back there. And the windows, the passing lanes for the quarterback, okay, are narrow. There's not as much room because there's so many defenders in that short area. Now, if the quarterback moves, if he moves in the pocket, the receivers know where they're going, so they're moving with the quarterback. Yep. Well, the defense doesn't know. So what has to happen is all the zones need to move with the receivers. And more times than not, somebody will get out of their zone and there becomes a throwing lane. So what I'm saying is downhill running I like, and I like when you move the quarterback down there, it puts a lot more stress on the defense from a passing standpoint rather than straight drop back.